Hey, Mr. Wigdell here with a lesson on probability. Probability is a measure of how likely an event is to happen. And if you think about things that are impossible, things that have impossible, like they'll never happen, they have a 0% chance of happening. Their probability is 0. And if you think of that as being on this end of a number line, and then you go all the way over to this end, things that are certain have a 100% chance of happening, or they are for sure going to happen. We have impossible and certain. Things that fall somewhere in the middle of those, we talk about their probability, and we talk about in terms of percentage. We also sometimes talk about probability in terms of fractions, but I'm going to show you a couple examples of each. First of all, the really classic thing to use when talking about probability is a penny. And here we have a penny and another penny. And as you can see, one is side up tails and one is heads. If you've ever flipped a coin, you know what I'm talking about. If you throw this penny up in the air, it's going to come down and it's going to land on one of three sides. It's either going to land tails up or heads up. Very rarely, I'm going to probably have to say it's almost impossible, you can get it to land on the edge. So let's just assume it's only going to land on two sides. If it lands on either side, if there's only two choices of sides for it to land on, we would say this is a 1 in 2 chance of being tails and a 1 in 2 chance of being heads, or 50%. There's a 50% chance it's going to land tails and a 50% chance it's going to land heads. If I threw this penny up and it landed on the floor and it was tails, and then I threw it up again and it landed and it was heads, and I kept going, the more times I did it, the closer I would come to having it be about half the time. You might throw it up 5 times in a row and get tails, 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 tails. And it would seem like, oh, well, it's certain, it's 100% that it's going to land tails. Well, we know that if you kept going, you might get 5 heads in a row. Whoops. That's not an H. It's an E. You might get 5 heads in a row. Heads, 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 heads. And so then, for example, these 10, it's 5 out of 10 were tails, or 0.5, or 50%. Here I have a screen capture from my phone that talks about the weather for the next week. And you can see it's got a predicted high and low. It's got a little picture of what the sky might look like. Over here, you can see that it's got some percentages. Okay? Those percentages are predictions of probability. If it says, and you can see it's precip, I wrote over the top of that, but precip is short for precipitation. If it says 10% precipitation, what they're really saying is 10 out of 100, right? 10% means 10 100ths. It also means 10 hundredths, right? These are all equal to each other. We know that because we've been studying decimals. 10% means 10 out of 100. What they're saying is, of 100 days that are like this, if you took 100 days that are going to be like it's going to be on February 17th, 10 of them, it would probably rain or snow. Probably snow since it's this cold. Down here, we have a 60% chance. 60% chance is 60 out of 100 equals 60 hundredths. What they're saying there is, if you took 100 days exactly like this day, Monday, February 20th, if you took 100 of them, on 60 of them it would probably snow. And that's pretty much it, all there is to it with probability. You can see I put some dice down here in the corner. And if you think about dice, dice have 6 sides. So if you roll one die, you're going to have a 1 in 6 chance that it comes up on any particular number. If you said, I'm going to roll a die and hope I get a 4, well, the probability is that out of 6 times, one of those times will be a 4. Now, does probability mean that that's for sure how it's going to work? Not necessarily. You could roll the die 6 times and get a 1 every single time. It's just probable that you're going to roll a 4 at least one time. All right, that's about all there. That's just a very quick introduction to probability. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.